Hello everyone, this is Yasser from Baba the Builder. Today I'm going to show you how to do an oil change and have my son work with me. And I'm going to teach him how to do a simplified oil change.
Mama, can you fix it?
So the first thing, you're going to need to know how to order your parts, and I'll show you right now. Here we are on AUTOZONE.com. We're going to order the parts. My vehicle is 2005 Honda. Ours is a Honda Civic Hybrid. Okay, and there's our vehicle on top right there. So we can go in the search bar and we can just type in oil filter and just click on the oil filter, and this is what they recommend, STP. So we can click add and then type air filter. So we choose this one. It'll always give you a suggestion on what they think is best. And now we type oil and click on oil. I like to use Mobile One Synthetic. So we'll scroll down until we find it. This one here is extended life. And like you see, they recommended 020 because that's what my car takes. And that's the weight. So we press order. Review our order. This is what we ordered. As you've seen in the video, the parts were pretty pricey. You're probably wondering, why should I do it myself? So I usually like to do my own oil changes simply because I don't want nobody touching my cars. Some people like, for a hobby, they do it. The reason why I do it with high mileage Mobile One Synthetic is because it can go up to 10,000 miles, and some of them will go higher. You don't have to buy it from AutoZone. You can get it from Walmart. You can get it online like eBay. So now let's get started with the oil change. Yusuf, can you grab these wheel stops? I usually like to put wheel stops because I'm gonna have it on jack stands. Put them in the back of each tire. And if you don't have wheel stops, it's fine. You can use wood, pieces of wood, 2x4s. Always have your emergency brake on. So we're gonna find a frame, the car frame to raise it up from, and it'll be right here, Baba. Right here, go up. Twist it. Okay, let's check the jack stand here. Go a little more. Okay, go put the jack stand on the other side. Okay, and now you can take out the jack slowly. Okay, take the jack over there. So now the car is perfectly safe to work under. I usually like to shake it a little, make sure it's good. A lot of cars now, they have dust shields at the bottom. It's like a cover, underneath cover. We have to take that out for this car so we can get to the oil filter and oil plug. Go ahead, Yusuf. Get a screwdriver, a straight screwdriver, and then you need to unclip these. Come here. Unclip these. All of them. There's one there. Here. Unclip this one, and that one. So this is the dust shield right here. I move it out of the way. This is the clips that's holding it, and I usually keep extra ones because these always break. So this here is the oil filter. I'll show you how to take it off. This is the oil plug. It says engine oil right here. So we're gonna get, can you get use of the pan? Okay. I like these because they don't make a mess. Now for the oil filter wrench here, you can purchase it anywhere, AUTOZONE or Harbor Freight or online. It makes your life easier to undo the oil filter. So you crimp it like that. And you let it loose. You let it drain a little bit until this is done. You always want to have a rag handy to wipe anything. So I'm gonna take out the oil plug. This is the oil plug, and it's this, for this car it's a 17 millimeter. So because I don't have enough room to work with, I usually do a double wrench like this, and that'll give me enough leverage to take out the oil plug. And once you break it loose, that's all you can do it by hand. And you let it drain. Usually I like to do the oil change when the car's a little warm. That'll speed up the drain of the oil. You don't want to do it when it's hot. You burn yourself. I usually like to prime the oil filter. I like to add a little bit of oil in it before I put it in. You don't have to fill it all the way, but I like to put oil and then put oil on the gasket, because I've seen it before where we did an oil change and the old gasket stayed on the block, and that's no good. Of course, you wipe it and you make sure there's no old gasket, and you spin it on. For the oil filter, when you install it, you don't really need to over tighten it. So by hand snug is just fine. Tighten it as much as you can with your hand, you're not gonna hurt it. So now the oil is done from the engine oil. We can put the plug back on. And again, don't over tighten it. Make sure it's just snug. And you put these clips back in. So now we can take out the jack stand. Go ahead, get the jack user and jack it up. And I like to keep a cardboard under me while I'm working. You need to get down and see where you're going to hit. So we're done with all the underneath stuff. We put the oil filter and we put the plug back on. We're gonna need to fill it with oil now. Here's the oil filler cap right here. And if you ever wonder what weight oil your car takes, most of the manufacturers have the weight on the cap. So for this particular car is 0.20, and this is what I got, 0.20 oil. Now for how many quarts does your car take, you can look in your manual, the owner's manual. I do a lot of Hondas. I know it takes about 4 to 4.5 quarts. This is about 5 quarts. 5 US quarts. One more quart. Okay. And then I'll take it out. You have to close this back on and then start it for a couple of seconds. Go ahead, Yusuf, start the car and shut it off. Start it for like 5 seconds. And that it'll give the oil to a chance to circulate in the motor and in the filter. Okay, shut it off. And then we're gonna show you how to check the oil. This is how you check the oil. You grab a good rag, clean one. Always wipe whatever is on the dipstick. Dip it in. And it's gotta be between these two lines, so we need more oil. I usually like to go half a quart. Okay, we don't have to keep starting it. We only started the initial startup because we want the oil to circulate in the filter. So one more time, we can wipe it. See, it's right in between the two dots. I like to always fill it to the max, to the top dot. So I'm gonna add a little more oil, and I highly recommend everyone to check their oil at least once every other week. And you can top it off during the time. Let's say at 7,000 miles you are missing half a quart. It's okay, you don't have to do another oil change. You can wait till 10,000, but you can top it off with new oil. So right here, all the way to the top. So this is perfect. This bottle have how many quarts? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 to the top. So you see this car took like 4 point some quarts. If you see, there's still some in here. And I usually like to keep this bottle to top it off in the future. And we're all done with the oil now. And if you noticed, I also ordered the air filter. I like to always change my air filter. It's inexpensive, but it keeps your internal engine clean. And it makes your car run better. Now, on this car, here's the air filter. You just snap these right here. And you pull it up. This is the air filter. This is how your engine breathes. And I usually change it a lot, every oil change. And you see how dirty it's gotten? And I don't even have dirty streets in my neighborhood. But you can see it's all a lot of dust in between. Can I have that, Isa? This is a new one. You can see the light through it. This one you can't. So you put it like this. just like you took it off. And you close these clips and you're all good to go. Now what I do is I reset the oil light and the dash, but at the same time I have these stickers. A lot of times AUTOZONE will give you these stickers for free. They're usually next to the oil filters. You can rip one and take it and they'll give it to you for free. I like to write my mileage on it to show when is my next oil change. That way I never forget. So you always want to return your old oil and filter back to AUTOZONE. So what I do is I put it back in the box. Put it in a plastic bag, and then I put the old oil in a container and send it to AUTOZONE. And that's why I like these containers, because they don't make any mess. And I will leave a link in the description where you can get these containers. So you take the engine oil and the old oil filter back to AUTOZONE. They take them from you. The only thing is they have to give you this back empty. You save it for the next oil change, and then make sure don't put it in the garbage. Like you see, it wasn't that hard to do an oil change. It was pretty simple, and that applies to most cars except for maybe the high-end cars. It took about 10 to 20 minutes. And I will leave everything I used in this oil change in the description below if you need to purchase any of it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.